Hello, this is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling you in since 2002. Having action figures is often not enough. You need a background to display them. Dioramas are cool, but where do you start? You might have noticed a sci-fi set in the background of some of my pictures. It's the Ubiquitous diorama set from Nova Revolve, a Chinese company. The set was released around 2017. Apparently. Outside of Asia, it's often found at stores like Big Bad Toy Store. I got both the original Ubiquitous set and the extension to build dioramas for toy photography and posing. Although I've had the sets for about a year, I've only found time to fiddle with them recently. Looking at reviews of this thing, parts of me was dreading the time it would take to build something from this. Since you can build anything from the blocks, it's like Lego for adults. There are not many instructions from Nova's Ubiquitous set, and other videos like mine tend to not cover the construction phase. We need to watch more Transformers review if you ask me. Reviewers kept saying that it took them several hours to build something, and that when they made errors, that they had to break down the parts and start over again. Ubiquitous does offer instructions to build something, but not everything. If you don't want what they suggest, then you are out of luck. Well, I didn't want what they suggested. The booklet that comes with the sets are not helpful. It's the same booklet for the main and the extension set, so there are no extra guides. I decided to tackle the extension set first, as it has less parts and in theory is used to enhance the larger one. What I really needed was a backdrop for my action figure photography that was tall enough for 112 figures. So that's what I set out to build. I did spend about 5 hours to build this display diorama. At first it was taller, but I didn't have enough parts to balance the base. It kept wobbling. That means that figures such as the 40th anniversary He-Man do not look as good. He-Man in particular scales closer to 8 inches rather than 6. Some larger Transformers will be as problematic. D2 for Ogres from Mythic Legions. However, most of your 118 and 112 figures will look great. I wanted a surface that was wide enough to pose more than one figure, such as a squadron of army builders. I think that I did achieve that look with the base, even though I had to sacrifice some height. The diorama built with the extension set does not cover 3 sides and the floor. Speaking of floor, you'll notice that it has 2 layers, and so do the walls. There is a base on the ground and the exterior walls, and then there are various covering for the flooring and the walls. There are a few types of connectors used to hold the pieces together. The set is sturdy, but it should rest on a stable and flat surface. It's definitely not meant for rough play. Also, the weight on the flooring will not accommodate heavy items. For example, when I get it, I won't be able to put my classified his tank there. Some reviewers have complained of cuts on their fingers, so I used home furniture gloves, which were exactly what was needed to avoid straining nails or small injuries. Building the set was far easier than I thought, once I had an idea of what I wanted. If you are not the explorer type, avoid this diorama set. You must enjoy puzzles and Legos to spend time with this set. You'll need patience and the will to come back the next day to complete it. I started building the diorama on a Friday evening and continued it the next morning. Doing it this way allowed me to use dead time and not feel like I lost an entire day on this project. I'm happy with the results. There are a few pieces that I did not use, but they'll be perfect when I start playing with the full set next. I want to connect the room with the main bridge. There are no instructions for how to use the LED lighting in the extension set. That's odd, as it's easy to see that lights can brighten this diorama. Be aware that doing so means wiring the inside of walls and thus having to break down your set to take the wiring into account as you build it. The set looks generic enough and can be used with any sci-fi or adventure action figure line. Even the likes of Masters of the Universe and Mythic Legion will look great with this set. Some of my King's Feature figures, such as Flash Gordon and the Defenders of the Earth, will look great in there too. Of course, this line shines with Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Classified, Transformers, and superhero lines. It's not Transformers Gold nor Star Wars White, but it will look great nevertheless. If you have other props, they'll look good and help you achieve a danger room, a bridge, or a corridor. There is a logic to the connectors and the build, so if you're minded for that, you'll enjoy the set. If you are more expressive and less Cartesian, this set may be painful to put together. Know yourself. It seems that in the past, there were parts with other colored plastic, but no longer. One thing that matters to me a lot is that figures stay put and don't fall over when placed under diorama. While most will be stable, but fallers or female figures with high heels will be a problem. In the floor, there are gaps and holes in the floor. Since the edges of the walls are never at 90 degrees, you can set a faller's feet next to the 45-degree angle base of the wall to stabilize them. The set is in ABS plastic, but it's not meant for play with kids. The packaging is good and all parts are sealed in plastic bags. There are 2 cardboard cases in the box, as well as a dust jacket. I wish the pics were larger, as it would have helped when I was figuring out what I wanted to build. The sets are expensive. The full set is $80 and $65 for the extension. In Canadian currency plus shipping, that's a lot. The company does respond when there are damages in sets, but it may be complicated to get support as they seem to only have a Facebook page and are mostly Chinese speakers. I had a lot of fun with the extension set, and thus it should be easier to build something cool with the full one. This product is for serious collectors and not those who are not into building dioramas. It takes a lot of work before you can enjoy the diorama, so there's no instant gratification. It is a better bet than cardboard alternatives that look flat or mimic perspective, and much different than street or subway dioramas that feel a bit cheap and dirty. This set does not look cheap at all. Big Bad Toy Store seems to get new shipment every now and then, although the manufacturer did mention on its Facebook page that the cost of producing the sets has increased recently. I'm glad that I have the set for toy photography and to just look great on my desk. Remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.